It's like fake outrage. That was feigned excitement because you weren't near it.
Theater of the mind.
You're like, ho hum. We don't have a lot to talk about. We're going to need some audience participation today. I'm like, hey, Eeyore, come on. We need something from our audience.
Let's do this. Oh, wrong one.
No, I'm like, you got to play that when you play it.
Time to go.
My phone was already asking me if I wanted to see the weather in Victoria. The weather is brought to you by the great folks at Deerland Feed. It's 72 degrees, heading to a high of 82 in Victoria. It's going to be cloudy all day. That's it. 72 to 82, cloudy all day.
Not a bad day.
It's like a greenhouse effect. See, the sun's rays still penetrate the clouds, and then they bounce off the clouds. So you can still get burned. Be aware.
Okay. I'll wear my sunscreen and white rim hats.
Well,
is that better? Is that good for you?
No, you look good. You just wear whatever you want. Look at Carter sporting the GSM insurance hat. The GSM insurance hat.
And your Masters shirt is Masters.
It's Masters week. Who's going to win the Masters?
Par 3 was yesterday, right?
Who won?
I don't know.
That guy never wins the tournament. John Rahm.
It's fun to watch, but
what's the guy's name that fell off of his foot? Begins with an F.
Fred Funk?
No, good call though. Where's Fonzie when you need him?
Dave Faraday?
No. Big guy, dark complected.
Vijay Singh.
No, there's no F in that. Wow. Charlie Siffert. No. Anyway,
I don't know.
Fuqua.
Lord Farquhar?
Little Lord Fauntleroy fell and twisted his ankle a couple years ago in the par 3 contest.
I remember. Yeah, I don't remember the guy's name.
Doesn't matter. Somebody will know him. And he's famous. He's like a big time golfer. So either Justin Thomas or Dustin Johnson.
Or the favorite. Tony Finau. There we go.
Finau.
There we go.
Finau. He's not like Fideo. It's not like Mexican spaghetti. Thank you, Fonzie. I need to be there.
Yeah. Diane Tippett, first one in this morning. Let's do roll call. Kendra Douglas, good morning. Mari Mickish, Scott Snow, Jeff Finley, Matt O'Shea, Judge Posey. Tracy Price, good morning. David Glass, Bobby Leister. It's Caldwell Wednesday. He always reminds us of that. That's great. Justin Glass, Christina Wise, the Leisterometer holding steady at 8:30. Stephen Kidder this morning. I'm trying to figure out if Stephen Kidder was traveling because he was posting pictures of big cities out on social media.
No, he just discovered Safari. All this time he's been on Facebook, but he discovered Safari. The floor here is kind of getting sticky like a movie theater. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Somebody spilled something on the floor.
Yeah.
Let's get a black light team in here.
Amanda Smith King, good morning. Rob Morgan-Ipling, Crystal Stringham, Kendall. There's your daughter, Kendall.
Hey, good morning,
I almost
Kendall.
read it straight out without realizing.
Sweet
It's been
Kendall.
so long since she's checked in.
I think
it's been so long she's been up this early.
Right. She's going to work out this morning.
Greg Garcia, good morning. Scott Tomko checking in. It's National Beer Day.
He thought it was yesterday, not a problem. He'll just hit it right back again today.
Every day is National Beer Day, Scott. No worries.
Scott.
Patrick Strauss, good morning. Kieran Webb, Lisa Poole, Amanda Smith King says she still gets burdened on the cloud.
See, that's a true story. Ash takes the stage and says goodnight, folks.
I did, yep. Call it a day.
There's Mark Jameson. Hello, sir.
There was no par 3 this year, said Judge Posey.
There you go. So you just reported there. Par 3 was yesterday.
Oh, it should have been, right? Tuesday before.
Craziness.
BJ Nelson, good morning.
Tony. Oh, Kendall was criticizing us trying to lurk around. And Kendall, it's an hour show. I mean, at some point, you've got to something to talk about. Tony Finau.
Roy Gutierrez, Mike Bloschke, Gilbert Ramon, good morning. H.R. Mallory, Adam Daughtry. Good group checking in this morning. Appreciate y'all.
My buddy
stopping by.
Luke Price is listening on the way to school.
Like and share the video if you be inclined to do so.
There you go.
So two of the women against Deshaun Watson spoke out, saying that one of them says she's now in therapy and she feels that her life will never be the same.
She's a liar.
Because the position that Deshaun Watson put her in. Meanwhile, his attorneys have letters from 18 women unsolicited that say that they just came forward and wanted to defend Deshaun Watson. So, I mean, I'm finding this thing hard to believe.
Liars.
Just looking at it straight face value, all of it seems orchestrated, regardless of what they're telling you, doesn't it?
Well, we're up to 40 people now. Now we've got 40
involved on both sides of the equation.
And anybody's observation is, if anything is going on, somewhere between the extreme left and the extreme right is where the truth is. But if you want me to believe that these women who were just, I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson didn't go to a massage parlor seeking sexual favors or to pay for sex.
Or that he didn't.
I'm saying that there ain't no way that surprised these women. He ain't the first or the last to say, hey, how about a happy ending? I'm calling BS on these women. I mean, it's what you do or you choose not to do, but it's what you do. And the idea that you want me to believe that some woman that gives massages for a living, who's in an area where a guy like Deshaun Watson might ask for more than just a shoulder rub, if you really want me to believe that she's going to take her hard-earned money and put herself into counseling over that, or that she's going to need counseling because Deshaun Watson asked for more or exposed himself, come on, man. I ain't buying that garbage. Her lawyer told her, get into some counseling. That'll show that you're sincere. That will show how traumatized you are. And the idea that 18 women just wrote love letters adoring Deshaun Watson is a lie. I guarantee you his lawyer said, Deshaun, give me a list of every woman you know who's ever put her hands on your shoulders, ever, even at a meet and greet, and I want her to write a letter about what a great guy you are. They may voluntarily have done it, which means they did it without a subpoena, but they were told, hey, guess what? We get through this, there'll be a big steak dinner for you. This is all about lawyers posturing for positions that I believe involve fake outrage, and many of which are just made up.
And Deshaun's attorney said that the attorney for a lot of the women, if not all of them, asked for about $100,000 per hush money to try to close it up.
We could make this go away for $100,000 apiece, but when it goes to court, this is all about justice for all women who must be believed. Garbage. It's all a lie.
What does that work out to? $2.2 million if you figure out 22 times 100, right? It's a pretty good payday for the lawyer.
The lawyer's going to get 40% of that. So the lawyer says, I'll take the first $1 million because I care so much about women's rights, and y'all can have what's left.
And your $100,000 quickly becomes $60,000.
Right.
Which, if you're a good masseuse, you're making that in a year. Absolutely. So what are you getting? A year's free pay? That's it?
Just
for somebody who violated you?
Yeah, just for lying about a guy. Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know. This thing just seems orchestrated all the way around, and I don't even know what Deshaun Watson's involvement would be if he didn't do what they're alleging he said they did. Hey, why would you go through this? And you said to get out of Houston.
Same thing, exact same thing. As just so you know that I'm not a Deshaun Watson fan. I'm not a Texans fan. I'm not an Andrew Cuomo fan. All these women coming forward now, years later, me too, me too, me too, garbage. Is Cuomo maybe a pervert? Maybe. Is he inappropriate? Yeah, what he is to me, he's just a Yankee with some power. And they're all obnoxious turds.
It's a mobster.
That's all he is. And then, by the way, that's no different than Donald Trump. You can just grab him there when you got money. He's a Yankee. What do you want? You hear the term Southern gentleman? It's almost redundant.
It's amazing how the left jumped on something Donald Trump said that you could do when you're rich and famous. And they haven't jumped on anything that 8 women claim actually happened.
Here's a comment from a very happily married woman. Callie Frommey says, sniffing my hair would come as a greater shock than a happy ending request. No wonder he's always smiling. Way to go. Jody Pickett says, hiya.
Hey, Jody, how are you this morning? Christina Wise says, lawyer said put a neck brace on.
Yeah, right. Ted Kennedy. I tried to save her. I did.
Day and a half later.
Crabs were on her.
Joel Gomez, good morning.
Yeah, I went back, had a few shrimp, tried to get my brothers to go help me. She was done by then.
Yeah. So keeping in the world of sports, you see the Boston Red Sox uniforms yesterday, kind of a yellow gold top with sky blue writing. I don't know another descriptor for periwinkle.
Why would you do that to the Boston Red Sox uniform?
Well, because Nike's involved, and Nike decided to do some city center, and we can get into some of the other cities later. But so
Atlanta, they put flames on the uniform.
Boston wears white pants. Thankfully, I was almost kind of hoping they would have wore solid yellow just to but they didn't. But they said it was kind of like to link the Red Sox and the Boston Marathon and the iconic imagery of the city, right? And staples of the city, trying to bring the city together.
Sure.
To me, if you're going to there's nothing, if you say Red Sox, I don't think Boston Marathon.
No, not at all.
But I think Green Monster and Irish and St. Paddy's Day. So why wouldn't you have done a uniform in green instead of manufacturing up some sort of link between the Boston Marathon and the Red Sox?
Because nobody likes the Irish. I've told you this on this program for 4 years.
I mean, that would have made more sense to me. But what are you going to do for New York? Are you going to have? Are you going to change the pinstripes to horizontal for all the crime that's going on?
You could do
in New York City.
A jail, and instead of their number could be like 000, and then their number.
Yeah.
Exactly. The Astros could be a rainbow exit sign. You've had Deshaun Watson trying to leave, George Springer has left, James Harden has left. The big man J.J. Watt has left. You can just do Houston as an exit sign with rainbow colors. Right?
Good. Are the Dodgers going to be smog brown?
What about Chicago? Would you just put opposing 9mm?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Jody Pickett says they should wear red socks.
That's just too obvious, Jody. It doesn't work today. It doesn't work in today's, slap you upside the face.
Right.
Make up stuff that doesn't exist just to market it. I mean, does baseball really need another set of uniforms? I mean, it's all about the money at this point.
I
just don't see Boston fans buying a yellow Boston Red Sox jersey.
No. To commemorate the Boston Marathon, but if you live in Boston, you probably hate. They lock down the streets.
Actually, they don't. It's a big party.
Was.
Yeah. Nobody from Boston actually runs in it. They all go and stand there and drink. It's the biggest drunk party outside of St. Paddy's Day in Boston.
Just another day in Canada.
Exactly.
Welcome our guests, our friends from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, one of our favorite hotspots. If you were to take and we've done it, if we look at our analytics and we have the little dots, there's a bunch of dots in Canada, and we're very, very fortunate to have you folks. Thanks for
Tom Price. Good morning. Yeah.
Hi, Tom.
Speaking of Calgary, Naheed Nenshi, the 3-term mayor, says he will not seek another term in the election coming up this year.
What was his name?
Naheed Nenshi.
N-I-N-C-H-I?
N-E-N-S-H-I, I think. And then I was reading all the fluff pieces that they put in. Reading all the fluff pieces they put out and trying to, cement his legacy. And this is the problem I have with politicians and this stuff is legacy. He was an advocate for affordable housing. He's the guy that took the most affordable housing in Calgary, a trailer park that had been there forever on a prime piece of real estate, but basically these people were not paying much, if anything.
Right.
Gave them a mere pittance because the city overtook the land, or it was city land.
They got free health care.
But they moved them out of there so the city could then sell that land to make more money. That's a real advocate for affordable housing, right?
Eminent domain in the name of capitalism.
Yeah.
Ricky De La Garza sent us a note, says, I'm listening. I mean, okay.
Thanks, Ricky.
I mean, I'm at the point now, and thank goodness for all of you folks. We now would rather have a list of people that aren't listening because it's a shorter list. There are so many of you listening. I'll tell you, though, since Ricky De La Garza sent us a personal note saying, I'm listening.
Did I miss him somewhere?
Yeah, Dana Moore up there said
okay.
They were. I saw that, and I guess we just didn't give them the appropriate shout out. So here's the deal. Why don't you call Ricky right now on his wife's phone, 652-9157. I would love for half a dozen of you right now to dial 652-9157. Just if you're driving and you're taking the kids to school, when they answer, you can hang up. It's kind of like a warranty call. But Dana Moore de la Garza can help you with all of your funeral arrangements in advance at a discounted rate.
You'll have a say in how you go.
Right. Absolutely.
Or maybe how you're carried out or leave. I guess how you go is not really up to you.
Yeah, you may still get shot by an angry spouse at 95, but I think the thing to do is to call 652-9157 just to razz Dana Moore de la Garza this morning. They're up, they're listening. And then the second thing would be to reach out to Dana and let her tell you the best way to deal with all of your funeral arrangements, from the plot to the music you want, to how do you want to be cremated? How do you want to be remembered? Do you want to have it your service at a chapel at, say, Grace Funeral Home, or do you want to have it at a church? All of those things can be handled in advance and paid for in advance, so they're not a burden on your family or your pocketbook at a time when you should be able to lovingly remember your loved one. Call Dana Moore de la Garza. Motto Mortgage, Terry Murray will reach all of your goals when it comes to refinancing your home, buying a new home, securing a traditional or FHA, a VA loan, whatever you need. If you want to shorten the term, right now interest rates are so low that if you're in what used to be a really good mortgage at 5%, you can cut the term, take cash out, and lower your payment. Reach out to Terry Murray at Motto Mortgage.
Went services, went electrical, went plumbing, for all your generator needs, for all your electrical service needs. If you're renovating a home, you want more power, more outlets, because every home built 10, 20 years ago does not have enough electrical outlets to power all the accessories in your life anymore. So you could easily call them in, even just in the room, your living room. You want more power?
You have that extra kid. You're a 2-crock-pot family.
Exactly.
You need another outlet in the kitchen.
Can't power that instant.
Wind Services can do that.
But they can do it.
USA Foundation, USA Concrete Coatings, USA.
Saw another pool they did yesterday.
578 home.
Phenomenal.
578 home. Charlie Garcia will come out and completely change the complexion.
Come on.
Transform.
Say it with me. Transform.
There
you go. It rolls off the tongue.
The Gray Barn, 920-6803, 920-6803. Reach out to Cheryl. She will help decorate your life. She'll decorate your next party.
Isn't that a Kenny Rogers song?
It is, actually. Well played. She will decorate.
She's excited. She's got an interesting project this week. She's actually doing a sort of Victorian-era photo shoot that she was asked to help decorate and such. So that's pretty cool. So
cool.
She'll be out in Inez doing that, the Inez area doing that this weekend.
At an undisclosed location. Sounds like boudoir pics or something.
No, I don't think it's
Victorian era.
Lots of hair. Yeah. Lots of corsets and push-up stuff. Stuff being sucked in and pushed
lots of hair.
And powdered wigs. And don't forget to saddle up with the sheriffs. April 29th. Great event. Yeah, at Club Westerner, 6 to 10. They're going to have dinner, a dance, a live auction. Guest speaker will be America's Sheriff, by the way, AJ Louderback. We're going to be there. We're going to have a lot of fun. Working on some things that we'll share in with the event. But if you want to get involved, table reservations and donations can be had. You can give Kelly Hartman Hinkie a call at VCS Companies, because she's involved in this, or Melissa at 571-4840 for table and ticket information. So we'll see you all there.
Yeah, we'll be there. Wayne Carter will be there.
Yeah.
And we might have some news to share in the next couple of days. When is that?
That's April 29th. I think that's a Thursday night. I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. The last Thursday of April. So at Club Westerner.
I love torturing you.
I don't know what you do. Can't hear.
Oh,
you got something mumbling in the background there.
Dialing 683. Kenny was good, wasn't he, folks?
Yeah, I love Kenny Rogers.
That copyright infringement brought to you by Wade and Carter. I'm sure we'll get a nasty, nasty note in the mail. I don't even know what that means. Like, I'm just like, hey, everybody knows the song.
I don't know either. But
is Wade and Carter getting a table? But I don't know, BJ. We'll get back on that. We're working on things.
Things.
BJ, did you see BJ cheat on us this morning?
I saw that.
Yep.
Called that.
Straight up, called Bill Posey.
Good.
I wonder if she's up at like 3 a.m. calling some hotline in Chicago. You know, like just finds a radio station and just calls in.
Probably.
You know? What are you looking at? You're looking at
I'm looking at the list of the billionaires in the world.
Did I make it? Did I make it?
No. No. Kim Kardashian joined the list for the first time.
Unbelievable.
Jeff Bezos topped the list, 177 billion. Elon Musk chasing closely on his heels, 551 billion. Bernard Arnault, 150 billion. Bill Gates, 124. Mark Zuckerberg, just a paltry 97 billion.
It's amazing to me that Zuckerberg. Okay, I get it. Facebook's
COVID was good for billionaires. The list increased by 660.
Well, think about
last year.
The idea that Zuckerberg, who, yes, he created Facebook. Okay, all right. But that he's sneaking up on Bill Gates' money, when you look at all the different innovations and things that Microsoft has been involved in, it blows my mind. And Bill Gates was once the richest man in the world. His wealth has remained about the same, but he seems committed to giving all his wealth away and then making it back on the COVID virus.
Here's a guy who knows computers, no doubt about it. How he became a vaccine expert, and for people to, it's all because of his money.
Yeah, that's
because he's giving his money to these things.
Yes.
There is nothing in Bill Gates' education that makes him a virologist or even close to a vaccine specialist.
And apparently there's nothing in Dr. Fauci's education that he's just like, well, I don't know. They asked him, why do you think there hasn't been a huge spike in COVID cases after spring break? And he said, well, I don't know. We don't know these things. We just have to watch it maybe next week. And that's what he said, maybe next week. Like, he's like, I can't wait.
Well, I might have an answer for that. There's no studies that show that there's any link to outdoor activity and people gathering.
So does that mean July 4th? Can we get together July 4th?
Well, I don't know. Joe Biden says you can only have a small gathering, small barbecue.
In Scranton. We're all going to Scranton. How did Kim Kardashian become a billionaire? Well, I made some bad decisions, but I always had a camera.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Monetized
porn. Yeah. I mean, she's a trashy broad, but there was always a camera there. Hey, that's entrepreneurial. That's
all it takes.
Shake your money maker, right? Just doing what she had to do.
Yeah.
Girls got to get by. The struggle's real.
Altogether, the 2,755 billionaires on the list have about $13.1 trillion. That's an increase of $5 trillion over a year ago.
That's not enough to fund the stimulus packages. Good morning, Rena Shear.
About half of the stimulus. They have twice as much money as the stimulus.
Wow.
Infrastructure COVID relief bills that were passed, because that totaled about $6 trillion over the course of time.
Yeah. Christina Wise adds, just hold on a little longer. I'm tired of hearing that from Fauci. We could do a loop.
It's been a long
hold
2
on
weeks.
A little longer and I'll circle back. Yeah, Jen Psaki.
What was the question she got asked the other day?
It sounds like a cocktail. What do you have? Oh, Jen Psaki on the rocks, please.
When she was asked about President Biden and pulling out of Georgia or supporting Major League Baseball and pulling out of or the election laws and stuff, and he said, well, or how was it an infringement on? I think the question was something along the paraphrasing here. The answer is more important than the question, but asking how, more specifically, how the Georgia election laws infringed on voter rights, and I think her answer was something along the lines of the changes didn't go far enough to enable voter access. They actually increased early voting. They added drop boxes to become permanent, which weren't permanent at all. Even after COVID, they had drop boxes, but they weren't permanent. And her answer was basically like, well, they didn't go far enough in lessening restrictions. I mean, it's just nuts.
Our friend Dr. Missy Madden Klimachek says Bill and Melinda Gates Education Foundation gives tons of money to some very radical educational theories, crazy liberal initiatives.
Yeah.
And BJ Nelson comes back with, is the STAR test going to be better today? What, BJ? That's odd. BJ never has a second cup of coffee during Bill Posey's show. Can you see BJ pulling into like Starbucks? Give me some of that premium and some meatloaf.
They got rid of the STAR test.
I don't know. I think when we did, Victoria's scores went up.
Yeah, that's that.
It was nice to see Brett Baldwin in here today, folks. We always say this, but it's still true. Great to see how much local leadership in our community is accessible. Brett Baldwin came in. I had a visit, just a short visit with Sheriff Marr yesterday. He realized it was me. He thought it was a warranty call, and he realized it was me, and he hung up. But it was a nice visit. I mean, I'd said a couple of things after he hung up. But no, I told him that I thought that was great that he had gone down and talked to the commissioner's court about the fact that the sheriff's office is being heavily taxed physically and emotionally. I mean, their staff is being worn out by all of these illegal immigrants. And I told him, I said, but you have to take a page from T. Michael O'Connor's playbook, which is you never go to commissioner's court with a problem that you don't also take the solution. And the solution always involves more money to the sheriff's office. That's what you have to do. T. Michael was the best at that. We have an influx of illegal immigrants. It's costing us $10 million more to do it. We would like $18,500,000 from y'all now.
There's Sippy checking in.
What is this about Trudeau and
Jason Kenney is the premier of Alberta. He just took him back to like phase 1 lockdown because there's a surge.
Well, it's winter again. It's winter again in Canada.
Yeah, so
how many days you get that you would call?
It's been a long 2 weeks to flatten the curve, hasn't it?
Yeah, like a year and a half. Yeah. I know it gets hot in Calgary. I understand that. But how long would you say? Give me like, well, this is when it's spring and summer. These months right here are spring and summer, like May, June.
May to August.
May to August. And people choose to live there, is what you're telling me. They're not sent there. It's not like a gulag.
No.
Are you sure? I mean, did they not tell you? Like people that live in Australia don't know they live on a prison. Are you sure your family wasn't like sentenced somehow while he did something bad? Maybe Tina? Is Tina running numbers?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay, well, they're not aware of your KGB.
Well, now you think of it, they kind of just put Wally and the rest of the family on a train and then just dropped them off wherever they wanted to when they got to Canada. So yeah, that could be
good point.
Yeah, that might be the case.
You got to wonder. May to August. I've got buddies that live in Indiana. Many of whom are vastly superior golfers to me. And I realize they're really good because, like, they're not playing golf yet. They're not playing golf. Not a chance. They don't play golf till May. Because once the snow melts, you got the course is mushy,
brown,
and you got to let it green up, and then they have to get it in shape.
Yeah, and then you play on temporary greens for a couple of weeks.
You're not exaggerating. This is all true. Yeah. So, like late May, June, July, August. In September, you start having frost.
Leaves are falling.
I know a number of scratch places up there, but I've also played courses up there, Ash, where tee box to fairway to green is all bent grass.
Yeah.
So beautiful. What did Dr. Klimachek
grass in Alberta?
Beautiful.
Company that administers the test lost their $90 million contract for next year, and so they were a little mad and dropped the ball sort of on purpose. Something seems sort of fishy. I don't know.
Do you think maybe Wade and Carter could take a test?
Somebody fill us in on the STAR test stuff, because now I'm kind of intrigued. Were they supposed to administer them? Or
Missy, feel free to call if you want. 575-575-9509. Contract.
Johnny Otten says the NDP in Canada just tabled a resolution to get rid of the armed forces if they're elected to lead the country of Canada. This is why they will never be elected to lead Canada.
If you think about it, they know that the U.S. would always have their back because it protects our national interest. I mean, I don't know why we don't.
That's the ultimate defund the police right there.
Right, just defund the military. You've got to figure that we probably should have a cooperative military with Canada and Mexico. I mean, we live next door to each other.
NORAD. It was American Radar.
Is that what that is? Yeah. It's like, where do we send the missiles?
We've got some way up north. There's some in North Dakota, a few other places along the border.
You think there's any truth to this concept of microwave / electronic warfare, like, for lack of the right phrase,
electronic
laser beams from outer space to take out targets?
Electromagnetic forces.
Any truth in that?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you really?
I don't know that it's able to be used en masse.
Are you speaking as a former agent or just as a?
But I think they can get the electromagnetic pulses. Yeah, I think they've shown tests can disrupt some things. I don't know if they can do it massive capability yet, but the Chinese Communist Party is working on it. Absolutely.
Those are some great folks over there. They're just misunderstood. The Chinese Communist Party always doing everything they can. Well, whether it's burning more coal than the rest of the planet combined, or making people want to kill their female babies because they can only have one kid in their home, or completely doing away with any type of religion in their country. They're just good folks, just trying to have an equitable relationship with the community. Everybody gets treated the same, and that's kind of where we're heading in this country, and that's got to give you a good feeling because that'll drive the price of TVs down. And that's all that matters, is that as a consumer nation, as a nation of spoiled turds, that we can get our televisions cheap. And that's why we tolerate China being China, because we can get free / cheap stuff. Yeah. So would you pay a little bit of your tax money to have the Wade and Carter test administered to your kids at school? We could do it like in real world. If Billy has 2 ounces of finely cut crystal and he cuts it with, right? I mean, we could do it like real, because there's kids in inner city Chicago that would go, that's still $150. I don't care what you say. Well, wait, he started out with half an ounce of cocaine.
Sugarland, that would say that would
exactly. In Plano, when I cut that heroin into 2 8-balls, I'm still making $1.50 a throw. I mean, that's $300. I don't care what you say. Now, that kid can't balance a checkbook, and that kid can't make change from $1. You want to have fun at a store? You know, something you buy is like pick it.
$1.20.
$1.31. So you give them $1, two quarters, and a penny, and say, or 56 cents, and give me a quarterback, whatever. They can't do it. It's unbelievable.
They can't count back change. Here's 80 cents makes $1. It was $1.20.
BJ says she's excited about the Senate meeting in Yoakum this weekend. Is Ted Cruz coming down? Hope a lot of Wade and Carter listeners can make it.
Miss Madden Klemachek weighs in. She says, first thing yesterday morning, the entire STAR system shut down. Just the states across the state were logging on to take the test. It was after school was over that we received the notice that it was fixed.
They were sending a message, don't you think, like a little shot across the bow?
Yeah, well, here's what happens when you bail on our contract. We bail on our social contract with you and your kids.
Did you see where the Biden administration, that group of senators that went with Ted Cruz down to the border, they were not requested. They were told to delete photos that they took from inside the migrant facility in the name of national security. They said, you need to delete those photos from your phone. And this one senator said, none of us did. But that's the Biden administration saying, see no evil, there is no evil.
Yeah. So,
Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Reach out to Allen's for all your towing needs. Allen sees the evil, passes no judgment, pulls your truck out of the ditch. Did you see that picture from H.R. Mallory of that black dude cheap, like a Grand Cherokee or something, down literally in the creek bed?
down the hill.
75-ton.
I'm not sure how it got in there. It looked like it must have been dropped from above because I didn't see any branches.
Gin and juice, baby. Gin and juice. That's the only way that got down there. But Alan grabs it with a crane, pulls it right out, no problem. The VCS company, 578-6300 for Alan. The VCS companies for all your security, surveillance,
communication needs,
road issues.
Talks, they can handle it. Don't forget also key players in the Saddle Up with the Sheriffs event coming up April 29th, and you can call up there and talk to Kelly if you want table and sponsorship information.
They outfit LEO vehicles. They outfit like body cameras and things for officers. They are the cutting edge source in this region for sure, and the standard, the gold standard of all for customer service.
Our show.
That's what we need. I could just rest like an iPhone 12 on my gut.
That's true.
Chesnick Furniture, 116 West Juan Lynn, the corner of Juan Lynn and Bridge, for 100 years, 70 plus at this location.
101 years.
101. Half off. You go down and tell them Wade and Carter sent you. I've had more sponsors come up and say, you won't believe it. Somebody came in, blah, 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 said, I want this, and Wade and Carter sent me. It gives them a chuckle when you do it. I'd love for you to do that when you have time. If you're somewhere, if you're in Veracruz for Caldo Wednesday, say, hey, I need a big old steaming bowl, a frapping bowl of Wade and Carter Caldo. They love that.
There you go.
They love it. The Wade and Carter Caldo today at Veracruz. Get in there. Go by Chesnick Furniture. Get you a best recliner. You can get it in leather, all different kinds of materials.
Stop by there before lunch. Have it delivered immediately after lunch.
And
go to Veracruz, have the Caldo, and then go and sit at home in your recliner and pass out from the Caldo coma that you will be in.
And call back and say, you know, after having that Caldo and that basket of chips, I need the extra wide recliner. They've got that too. So there you go.
We caught up.
We are caught up. We'll have one more break in a little while. I'll talk about our other friends, but
there's another great deal on me. For the next break, I'll tease it for the ad at AdsonHoffer.com.
You saw another. Ash is now kind of an unpaid used car manager, pre-owned vehicle manager for Adson. See, it's a pre-owned vehicle because it could be a truck, so it's not a used car. It's a pre-owned vehicle. Many of whom are hardly used at all. That last Cadillac you sold was Sundays only, little old lady.
To church and back, maybe the grocery store.
Yeah, she might have
never HEB. It was always to Dick's. Parked it way away from everybody, so there were no door dings.
Caleb Shaw, shameless self-promoter, says VCS also sponsored our 4 Meet Victoria candidate interviews. They are awesome. Is that the candidates or the interviews?
Both.
I bet he's saying the interviews. In 4 interviews.
VCS are awesome. That's what he's saying.
Not 6, since Lingle and De Los Santos were scared to debate. I don't understand this Lingle lady who we've invited her to the show as well. I pass no judgment. Mandy Lingle, don't know anything about her. I've heard, and I'm paraphrasing, that she wants to be a spokesman for the teacher. That's good. The teacher probably needs a strong voice representative on council, but I'm not seeing the strong voice. I mean, if Mandy Lingle, 575-9509, you know you're listening. You know you're listening. So call us. Don't be scared. You're going to try to manage, the school district. You need to have a little chutzpah.
Is that the role of the trustee, though?
I don't
trustee,
know.
Are you the voice of the teacher? You're the voice of the taxpayer, and teachers can be taxpayers. But I don't know. That stance to me, I have a little bit of a problem with, because now it seems you're only a voice for the teachers. The taxpayers don't have a voice.
Legit point. Now Dale Zook has said, "Hey, I'll meet her any place, anytime. Cut me, Mick." He doesn't care. He's a street brawler. No, he's actually a very fine gentleman. Dale Zook says, I'd love to come on Wade and Carter and have a 15, 20-minute issue debate. Let's talk about the budget. One thing about Dale, if you show up, whether you're, Tammy Keeling or Quentin Shepard or Mandy Lingle, you better know your budget because he knows it. That's interesting to me. I think that brings some value. Dr. De Los Santos has always been a tremendous friend, and she's a very, very sharp lady. I don't think Dr. De Los Santos needs to debate.
Jeff Fonseca says he drops the Wade and Carter name a lot. Doesn't get him anything, but he's tripped over it a few times.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, Jeff, you can't stumble into moonshine at 1 o'clock and go, "You're not closed yet. Wade Carter said I could come in.
You get a discount?
I need a ride."
Yeah. How about this?
Caleb Shaw, you're golden. Ash and I both adore you. I think you're great. I think that the media stuff you do and your philosophy on real estate, the way that you're always giving back to the community. I know you're humble, but you're a great sport. We love to have fun with you, but we can't emphasize enough what a treasure you are.
Can't do this show without you. When
Absolutely.
Gone. That's why the WC will never leave.
That's exactly right.
And then when Caleb's no longer there, it'll be the Wade and Caldo show. I'll just get a bowl of Caldo to sit there next to me every day.
Steaming bowl. By the way, you would get in a lot less trouble. The FCC would never be calling you. And everybody would be just licking their chops if you had that steaming bowl of Caldo right there. It was so beautiful the other day when Ricky D.
Yeah.
You saw that bowl? It looked like a small bathtub.
It was a bathtub.
Don't throw out the baby with the Caldo.
The FCC never calls me. The KGB every once in a while.
Every now and then. You're talking too much, comrade. He's onto you. They want you to stab me, don't they?
Yeah, actually no. We do more poison.
Like this?
Yes. Wait, hold on a second.
Why am I coughing? Yeah, that'd be like 3 fingers Tito's in my iced tea.
No, we don't drink Tito's. That stuff's too weak. Us Ruskies.
Oh,
interesting little known and little talked about side effect of the COVID. Because of more people ordering out, there was actually a ketchup packet shortage in this country. Some restaurants have gone to actually rationing the number of packets of ketchup that they will give you because they're running low.
It's going to be now.
Supply cannot keep up with demand.
They're going to raise the price of ketchup.
Or if you want an extra one, it's going to cost you $0.25.
Am I right?
Remember when Domino's used to give you the dipping sauce with their pizza? Now they charge you like 39 cents for each one.
Yes. It's a profit deal. These people.
The packet costs more than the butter and the garlic in that sauce.
No doubt. The packaging is more than.
But I don't think it'll happen here, but you watch. Some of these national chains will start charging 25 cents a ketchup packet beyond the 1 or 2 that they'll give you with an order of fries.
You know, the people that really kind of watch that, and they're real good about it, but the people that watch it, Chick-fil-A, they're not just wholesale throwing that Chick-fil-A sauce in that bag.
Well, because they've got it portioned out enough. I mean, let's be honest. If you get a 6 count of nuggets,
one thing's enough.
You even have a little sauce left over to kind of shoot it.
I eat those nuggets like a Jello shot till they're gone, right? Don't you eat those nuggets like just turn the box up
and then chase it with the sauce?
Yeah.
Gotta wash it down a little bit.
Squeeze the sauce container. Doesn't that sound good? Somebody mimics their sauce. It's something simple too. It's like, I'm making it up. Mayonnaise, Worcestershire sauce, and something like ketchup. Bam, there you have it. Is. How about the Astros drink season?
Yum Yum sauce, the one at the hibachi places.
Get out of my yard, Yum Yum. What was that show called?
I don't remember.
El Camino?
Oh, yeah.
El Torino.
Yeah, with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. He's still alive?
I think so. Hadn't heard.
He aged so well. He was like 70 years old when he did Unforgiven. He was just so good.
So well. He's looked the same for the last 20 years.
Angry,
grumpy. BJ Nelson says, here's what I don't get. If there's a shortage of this or that, isn't there an opportunity for growth in the industry?
Being an entrepreneur, take a chance. I'm growing tomatoes in my front yard.
I can't imagine the startup costs of trying to start up a ketchup packet processing plant.
What's that? Hey, be careful.
Jeff Fonseca says if Whataburger runs out of ketchup, he's leaving the country.
Be careful there, Rosie O'Donnell. Remember when she was like, if Donald Trump gets elected, I'm moving to somewhere. She's still here.
Yeah.
Eating all the ketchup.
Whataburger spicy ketchup's the best. I put that on the burgers.
Their spicy ketchup is good. Here we go.
Katina Arterberry, good morning.
This is how it goes. Well, I'll tell you what, Katina Arterberry, you get over there, you let Jonathan find you putting ketchup on his brisket, he may throat punch you. It's so good. Didn't you tell me you had ribs the other day?
No, I had brisket the other day. I stopped in brisket.
Did you?
I always tell them, you can give me the fatty stuff. I'm fine with that, and they always do. I'm fine with that.
Unpaid honest plug brought to you by Wade and Carter, the Wade and Carter Foundation. Donations accepted.
So, yeah, who would have thought we'd had a ketchup packet shortage in this country? What follows? Does that mean the salt and pepper packets? I mean, they already jip you on the pepper and the pepper packets already.
Right.
They give you enough salt
for like 4 burgers.
4 burgers, and they give you enough pepper to not even make a bird sneeze.
You know why? Salt's cheap. Pepper's not. Patrick Strauss is Patrick Strauss, not Patrick Souse. I don't know. I've never seen him drink. It says buy Whataburger at HEB.
Michael Jolly says he's going to open up an ammo and ketchup distribution center.
Nice. I need a.
Which do you get when you buy one? Is it buy one ammo, get 2 ketchups free, or buy one ketchup,
rounds,
get 2 ammos free?
200 rounds of 9mm gets you 5 ketchup packets.
Kelly Ferrami says our church is a little self-contained communion package. Did those exist somewhere in the world before COVID, or is it strictly
we do the same thing. I've actually joked with our pastor at Parkway, is a super gentleman named Mike Hurt, and Michael is just so thoughtful and so kind and really a fine guy. And I joke with him that I just feel like the microwavable communion packet takes away from the experience.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. It's like in and out. It's it's like drive-through. Americans are in such a hurry.
We've gone such a way. I mean, growing up as a kid, I went to church with my grandma, Catholic church. Everybody drank out of the same communion chalice.
Yeah.
Right? Priest would wipe it off. Next one would come along the line, take a little sip. Padre would wipe it off.
It was the hoof and mouth outbreak in Calgary in 1981.
Everybody did. You all got the communion wafer and, the holy bread, as I called it.
Sure.
Then they went to
everybody got their
own glass.
Jelly packet.
Now everybody gets their own thing and everything's self-contained.
Yeah.
Remember when 7-Eleven on the bottom of the Slurpees and you got the little sticker that in Canada it had hockey players on it, but down here I'm pretty sure it was probably baseball players. Yeah,
it was baseball.
That's what those communion packets remind me of. You have the wafer at the bottom and the wine on top.
The wafer. It's wafer thin.
Did that get cheap?
Yeah.
You used to get a nice chunk. When I was a kid, that would be enough to get you through the rest of church until you got home.
Snack.
Yeah.
It's a Jesus
Now
snack.
it's like this, and it's thin, paper thin.
Jesus doesn't want you fat.
It used to be like a graham cracker. Now it's nothing.
The Jesus diet. Just eat less. Plus, you could get a good snout full there at the Catholic Church. You have a little buzz to make it through Mass.
The box went like.
That was close. Fumble.
The box we used to get. These things were huge.
So close. Chaos.
Good catch.
That was nice.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, are things that bad in the Catholic Church?
I don't. Well, yeah. Let's don't go there. I think they are.
Let's not go there.
How about this? Astros. Zach Greinke pitches 7 innings yesterday. Gives up 2 runs. I'm not sure if they were earned or not, but that's still a pretty good ERA. And then Astros scored 2 in the top of the 9th and win 4-2 at the Los Angeles Angels at Anaheim.
Yes.
Yeah, that's bad when you go to church like on Easter Sunday, like 2 weeks later, everybody in church has a fever blister. That's not
good. Alcohol in the wine killed them. Now they don't give you actual wine.
Oh, goodness. It's like, why can't you go to church? Well, I've been to rehab and I can't go anymore.
Divorce rate spikes 2 weeks after church, Easter Sunday.
BJ, I agree that I think all of our immunities were better. Jeff Fonseca says communion is like a Lunchable.
It was back in the day.
Anybody got a ham they don't want?
Yeah. Trump got a hold of one yesterday, like 500 feet. He crushed that thing.
Yeah.
But
still the best player.
Still lost.
His numbers are
still lost.
Right, loser.
Astros come home, play the A's starting tomorrow. A's are 0-6. They lost to Kershaw. Kershaw struck out 8 and 7 innings yesterday.
How many times are they playing us? 3?
This weekend, probably. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
No, it could be a 4-game series. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It could be a 4-game series.
I think the Astros will drop at least 2. Whether it's 3 or 4, they'll lose 2.
Do you think the A's get off the schneid against the Astros
I think they
home?
have to.
Home opener? Home opening weekend? Yeah. I don't think so.
It's just mathematically.
They might get 1 out of the 3.
0-9.
Or 0-6 coming in. Could they be 0-10?
Wow.
Yeah, that'd be hard. Oh, Caleb.
Come on, Caleb.
I don't have any tissues. Stop.
Caleb. He says he kind of misses you guys. Just saying, if no one has said thanks for all you guys do, even over the baseball talk.
BJ Nelson says, head to Sam's after church to feed the family. You got a meal for a family of 4 there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see what else is happening. Now
I got a little song. It's Ash coming in after church. It's Ash after Catholic Mass. Hey, sister. You're looking pretty cute over there.
Not at all.
Want to learn some bad habits? Oh, they're going to kick us off the air.
Lisa Poole's out here. I tell you where you don't have to go anywhere to shop the great selection at Atzenhofer, because you can just log on to Atzenhofer.com.
The best you've ever done. Atzenhofer.com. There was a .com at Atzenhofer long before the internet was invented by Al Gore. Reach out today. See the Gently.
I'm trying to find it. They had. Oh, I know what it was.
Christina Wise is going to see the Cubs in June.
They have a Subaru Forester right now at Atzenhofer.
It's a 4-wheel drive little SUV.
Yeah, they're very good little car.
It's a good little car.
And it's priced right around 10.
Oh.
Low miles, fairly new, good little car. So there you go. Perfect. There's my used car of the week. I sold the last one for him.
Yes.
So this one probably won't be there, but Atzenhofer.com.
BJ Nelson leads us to our next deal. She says, you're going to need Steve Kidder for all these songs you play. The law offices of Steve Kidder could use ignorance as a defense for Wade and Carter. I think there's some truth. Bobcat Wally says he loves Wrigley Field. I saw a game there the other day.
I've never been there. I need to go to a game there. My brother's been.
The ivy was on the wall, but there was not a green speck on it. I mean, everything was brown.
Patrick Strauss says this is a 3-game series. The Astros will be off on Sunday.
Astros dropped 2 out of 3 this weekend.
No, they'll take 3. They'll take 3-game series. They might take them all.
Atzenhofer since 1926. Just reach out. You cannot go wrong. Whether you want a new Chevy, Cadillac,
Mitsubishi,
Mazda, or a gently pre-owned vehicle with all types of makes and models.
Forester.
They service them all. They'll paint and de-dent all of them. Inspect. They do it all. White Trash Services, 550-1826. One of our best listeners, top fans, and best friends, BJ Nelson. She and her family will just quite simply help you have a trash-tastic day. I don't expect you to get excited about getting rid of your trash, but Ash has candid me more than once. Man, I just don't worry about it anymore. They got a day. They always come on that day. They're always there about the same time. Cheryl likes the driver. I mean, everything's cool. 550-1826. Whether you need a roll-off dumpster for a big commercial job site or a residential redo, or
there's weekly trash collection. If you're in Victoria County and the 6 other counties around us,
Lockport, Holiday Beach, Lavernia,
McQueenie,
parts of Lake Tahoe, reach out to them.
Milan.
We talked about Steve Kidder. And then yesterday, people think I'm joking. I don't make this up. I went yesterday. Dawn had an energy tea.
It was red, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like an energy tea. She loved it. And we split they call it adobo turkey panini.
That one's pretty good.
And it's like $7.99, and we split it.
Yeah, they're big.
Oh, it's big. And you leave there satisfied, and you feel like, okay, I ate something healthy.
And you don't feel guilty after either.
No. Now, you could go there with someone other than your wife and feel guilty.
No,
that would be bad. I'd rather eat sand with Dawn than something else with the wrong woman.
There you go.
The Bible verse of the week, Proverbs 25:24. It is better than a man should live in the corner of an attic than in a fine estate with a crabby woman. Go look it up. Proverbs 25:24 is the verse of my life. There you go. 7:59 in Texas.
Solutions. You forgot Razor.
I did not forget. JP Hull will round out our show. JP and his team can help you keep the data that's in your computers. Folks, I cannot emphasize to you enough, the hackers are doing it for a living, and the living is good. They will hack into your computer. They will hack into your website. But if you need help preventing that, monetizing your Facebook page, collecting money on your webpage, selling merch, whatever you need help doing, the folks at Razor IT Solutions have done it for bigger companies, and they can do it for you.
Absolutely.
Reach out to Razor IT. JP Hull is a great friend, a fine guy, and he told me, a couple of weeks ago we had him on the air, and afterwards I followed up, and I said, hey, what is the deal? You were telling me that a friend of yours, small business, had been hacked. And he said, oh, man, you can't believe it. He said, we went into their website, and it was so slow. When I got into the analytics, they had been hacked. Their firewall had been breached 100 times.
Wow.
100 times, people. India, Russia, China, they're all just hacked into your website. You can lose money, time. You can lose credit card numbers.
Absolutely.
Personal data.
If they can't get to your website, they're going to go find another company whose website they can get to conduct their business.
BJ Nelson says, we have a great and amazing team. Mr. Nelson is fixing breakfast for our team tomorrow morning. How about a celebrity flyby by Wade and Carter?
Jeff Fonseca says, white trash service drivers are like Chick-fil-A employees.
Super friendly. What's a good time for Wade and Carter to make a flyby out there? You know what the problem is? No. See, that's the problem. White trash services, they're already on the road by 7.
Yeah.
Mr. Nelson will be up there with an apron on at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Absolutely, he will.
Maybe we could go by before the show.
Then you got to get out of bed early.
It's okay. I'll just keep drinking my smoothie.
There you go.
I'll drink my smoothie.
Final observation of everything coming full circle.
That was your Joe Biden with the five.
And my Jen Psaki full circle.
Gin and tonic.
Circle back.
Your gin and tonic.
Remember the sit down a couple of weeks ago that Meghan Markle and the former royal heir known as Prince.
The victims. They're the victims. They're the victims of the monarchy.
Well, they just announced a deal with Netflix, did Meghan and Harry.
Unbelievable.
That they're going to do a documentary series or a documentary exploring the Invictus Games, the games that Prince Harry founded a few years ago. Remember for soldiers and such? Pretty cool concept.
Yeah, it is.
The games are cool. But now you know why they sat down to plead the victimhood status, because they probably needed some leverage to get, and their names out there, to get somebody to deal with them so they could get a distribution deal with Netflix or another company, because now they had some leverage. Look, our names were associated with this interview with Oprah. We pulled in this many viewers. You produce or distribute our documentary. Our names will be associated with this. If we can do this for Oprah, what can we do for you?
We still have pull.
Yeah, that's exactly what it amounted to. It was nothing more than a marketing ploy, as we suspected when they sat down with Oprah 3 or 4 weeks ago. Now we know why. They needed help getting a distribution deal for Prince Harry and Meghan's documentary on the Invictus Games.
And it's like we said, if you're going to marry into the royal family and complain about being royalty, it's a lot like marrying an Episcopal bishop and complaining about going to church. I mean, what did you expect? You're an idiot. The other side of that, by the way, I visited with a dear friend of mine yesterday who his son graduated, and he's a college graduate, and went to work for the Magnolia Company, Chip and Joanna Gaines. And he said that his son, who has like a distribution type background in college, said, you just can't imagine how many pies they have their fingers in, and the breadth and the production that is Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Go to Waco and look at that whole area that they've revitalized.
They now own Waco. They're like David Koresh without the weapons. They have the whole place locked down.
They really do.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Do we need to go? We have one. Who's our one viewer?
Probably, I don't know. It doesn't say, but I think we know. It's probably James Kurth.
Hi, James Kurth.
He's a YouTube fanatic, so
he's awesome. James, we look better on Facebook. I mean, I look tired, and I'm not. I feel great. My Comp 360 regimen has really, really revitalized my existence. Like most days, I can stay awake till my 1 o'clock nap.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, it's like I know you have a couple of vodkas in the morning, and you don't drink again until lunch. And I usually nap about 1 o'clock from like 1 to 6. get up and have some dinner.
You get up and have your Ovaltine.
And then go back to bed. No, Ensure now.
Oh, it's Ensure now?
It's Ensure.
Too much sugar in the Ovaltine?
Boost. That's a Boost. Get the tea that makes you go. Folks, you have no idea.
Speaking of going.
You have no idea how good our ads are compared to what's out there. Is the Hall of Famer in the